Hi, my name is Randy, and I want to invite you to Randyland for a garden walk. I'd like to just show you the greenscaping that I am very proud of this year, and I am so happy at all the earth that I brought in here many years ago, but especially that all the gardens that have grown around my home. So I'd like to invite you to take a walk with me to Randyland. So hey, peace. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day in the city of Pittsburgh, Randyland. Come on, let's have a good time. Here we are, show you my gardens. Over here was an ugly old lot. Put a lot of stones down here. I wanted to go ahead to build different ideas of gardening programming. You have a lot of great flowers and colorful things. Stuck a lot of wonderful pieces of art to make it look happy, so that the children and the visitors, when they come by, that they would be able to see gardening at its best at Randyland. This is the entranceway. Alright. A little dark, but we'll get it together. Over here, I decided to put a lot of flamingos outside my house so that I would go ahead and be able to make it more of a nature reserve. And again, there's that crazy fence, my lava lamp fence. A lot of recycled stone that I decided to place in different patterns to kind of give it that interesting look. So don't be afraid to take odd pieces of stone and to place it in different ways, so that way you can get a different idea of gardening programming. I found these really groovy faces, and I'm really liking these. I put sedums in them so that sedums would go ahead and make it look like dreads. This Elysium has gone somehow crazy. I planted it, but it has taken over, and it seems to want to come back every year now. Again, we have a lot of old containers and a lot of stones. I'm going to move over to the other side over here. This is what people in my neighborhood walk down the street past my house. I want them to feel very welcomed when they come to my house. Put these beautiful rose bushes in here, and they grew really nicely. And over here, a lot of beautiful hibiscus trees. I bought this, thought it was a small little baby tree, and now she gets all these beautiful big flowers on it. Don't see any flowers right now, I'm sorry to say, but that's okay. They come and go. Oh, there's one. I want to try to zone in on it if I can. There you go. I'll try to move it right over here. It's a big giant one. They're quite large. I actually think I might have to move some things. I found out about gardening. I put things one place one year and I move them around the next, because I'm not really a professional gardener, but I found out that things do take over and get extra large, and I didn't know that when I first planted them. So let that be a little thought. Feel free to go ahead and pick things out of the ground in the fall, transplanting them into other areas so that you can go ahead and give them more space for growth. These hostas here are wonderful. I take them every year and I split them in half, and I start to place them in various locations around my building. This is a monkey grass, and I find out that it does very well actually when it's in a very tight area. This is a perennial, and the tighter the area, the tighter the roots, seems to make them want to grow even better. So I'm quite happy at that look. Another one of my happy faces. These roses are a little bit out of control this year. They've grown about 5 feet tall. So they're really, really, really interesting. A lot of music in my neighborhood. It's a city. In the city, you expect a lot of things to happen. Over here, got some interesting petunias with a lot of the sweet potato vine. Sweet potato vine has a way of taking over, but it has that luscious light green look, and it really looks fantastic. Over here, found a rabbit at one of the local stores. Put that up there because, of course, the kids really like that. And again, these containers, a lot of them were things I picked up very inexpensively, different places. So, whenever you see a sale on containers, feel free to buy them early in the season or actually out of season. You'll find that they really do come in very handy. Trying to move around this side here, show you all the cobblestones that I placed upwards, and the cobblestones gave it a nice border. That border was necessary to go ahead and to give the roots more space for depth. Got some nice salvia in there, and of course I always try to put as much art around my gardening as possible. A lot of people told me in the city it wasn't going to work. Don't plant flowers and don't put art out. The kids would steal it. For some reason it works quite nicely, and well, once people take things, you know, they don't come back again. They might have a little here and there disappearing, but that's okay. Now this is the sweet potato vine as well, and this is the purple sweet potato vine. Here I have these gigantic cannas. These cannas have grown 5 feet tall. They are amazing, and they get nice red flowers. Guess they're not blooming right now, but that's okay. I see a lot of pictures when I've gone to the art shows, and they show these great doorways with all the flowers all over the place, and I thought, hey, why not just do something like that in my neighborhood to build that European charm. I don't know exactly, maybe Italy or other places that they have that. So I have my gate open. Oh, I should show you my welcome sign. I wanted people to know when they come in to the neighborhood that they can come in. So I bought this open sign so that people feel comfortable as they see my flowers and they can walk through my gate. Then I have my nice little turtle. I bought that fella because he's kind of cute and catches your eye. It's kind of a neon fella. And over here I bought this container for like $20. It was on a shelf. I look around on the shelves that like have all the odd things, and then I buy them if I can at a discount. I bought these ducks, these mallards, at a store, at a honey store that was going out of season, so that I could put all these nice little ducks around with the flamingos and the beautiful green foliage. Then of course the swans. Whoop, back to the swans. I wanted to do something fun. I thought it was kind of, well, weird to do swans, but you know what? Again, it's an animal, and it's a good, I guess, a picture idea. A lot of folks like to take photographs, as well as it's it really sets itself off. They seem to jump out at you, these swans. Now somebody donated this fantastic zebra. I don't know exactly where it came from, but it was a gift that was left in my garden one day, and I was so happy that it was. Underneath the tree here, I got this fantastic bird bath for $5 at one of the local places, and I put a happy little swimmer in there and ducks around it so that it looks like they're drinking the water. What I try to do is you know, put things as though they're more natural. And of course, from time to time you need those welcome signs, because you want when people come by that they don't feel that they're not allowed to be here. My grasses, I have this zebra grass, and oh my goodness, is it really looking full this year. A really nice zebra grass. I got this container. I'm going to take a moment. Hope I can get the picture of it. This was a container. It was a fiberglass container, I guess for inside, and I found it for $5, and I filled it with this soil, putting in my different juniper ball shrubs, and it looks really good. I put the flowers in it. I'm going to show me my flowers, and I got all these, and I just stuck my different pieces of art in here so that people can see it looks more natural. Thought that was kind of nice. Don't be afraid when you see those big fiberglass containers to go ahead and to buy them at a reduced price so that you can go ahead and plant your plants in them. Now this looks like a pretty dark spot. Oh, it's coming through. Again, I went ahead and I put these stones up here on the wall, and I just pile things up from time to time to go ahead and to build a terrace garden. And then I put like the round river rock on top. It gives it a little bit of a zen, a little bit of a balance over here, so it looks really good. Now I should say that I find in my containers I put hostas or junipers. I like the way that they do return, and they do seem to fill up the spaces quite nicely. Boxwood does that as well. I got this container. It's broken in the back, but in the front you would never know the difference. Oh, here's another cool find. This is another fiberglass container, and it's got really nice lines on it, and I got that for $5 at one of the local junk stores. So I go ahead and I just pick these things up whenever I can for just minimal dollars, and then I put either, you know, perennial or some of the annuals in it, so that way they can then grow. All right, now this pig was donated to me. I like him. He's a happy little fella. Got some glass eyeballs, and kind of the kids again like to go ahead and see him. It makes them feel good. Yeah, kids have to have a lot of this stuff. You want them to feel that this is kind of like an adult playground. That's what gardening is. It is an adult playground. It's a place for therapy, and it's a place for calming. It's a place to relax. So I just wanted to let you know about that. Well, over here I go ahead, I have more of these containers that I buy for like $2 or $3 or $4, and I put a lot of different shrubbery in them to go ahead and to kind of build like a, I guess, a terrace look. I wanted to make sure that all plants don't have to be so close to the ground, but by putting them up 1, 2, 3 on top of each other, that it builds different things. And that's cool. So in other words, don't be afraid to layer your gardening. Get out there and have fun, layer things, and you can go ahead and you can see all kind of wonderful ideas of gardening. You don't have to do things the same way as everybody else does. You can just invent your own way, and don't be shy. Oh, there's my shadow. All right, now I'm going to walk across the street, because this is a beautiful, beautiful garden across the street which I built. See the steps of the garden, and they go all the way up to the end of the street. So don't, again, think of gardening has special rules. There are no rules in gardening. It's like a kid being in a toy room, and you just pick up all the toys, and you know, you play, and no matter how old you are, you can do these things. I'm going to go across the street here because I have built a new garden over here. This was a pretty bad space. It had a lot of garbage on it, and I'm going to try to move over here not too fast, but I just want to show you that this sidewalk was pretty busted and it was framing in my property. So I started taking the stones and piling up the stones as you see here, and then I go out and I try to do as much as I can by getting good soil and trying to feed it, you know, with the different types of compost and things like that. And then that way I can go ahead and every year try to make it a little healthier. There's my welcome sign again, so when people walk the dogs or the baby carriages up and down the street, that they have a nice place to walk. So it's very comforting and joyful for them in our neighborhood. You want to go out of your yards and you want to be able to do nice things other than staying in that same little patch, that same little square. Curb appeal programming is very, very, very important. Put some flamingos out this year. I never did that before. Put a lot of perennials in here. I had in the past done annuals, and I found that they were so very expensive and it was costing me a lot of money. I can't afford a lot of annuals. So I try to do as much as I can to see what reseeds. Now this Elysium, I put some nice white Elysium and the red purple Elysium, so as they layer over top of the stones, that they then kind of just build that eye appeal. A lot of times Elysium does come back from year to year. You know, it's kind of like hard to say. Now I find that when you leave Elysium in the ground, I won't pull mine out this year. A lot of times the dead branches will protect the seeds that are in it, and then this springtime I will take them out, and then a lot of times this will come right back and it saves a lot of money. I found this welcome sign. This is, I'm going to get a little close here. As you can see, it is a welcome sign. So I put this welcome sign in here so that people again feel that when they come here, if they know our corner, great. But if they don't know the corner, I try to put as many things around that will go ahead and will make them feel comfortable about doing, you know, like change things. And, you know, $1 here, one man's junk is another man's treasure. Those kind of things are really interesting. These are some fun perennials I bought this year. I'm really hoping they come back. Supposed to have a real bad winter this year, and I'm hoping that the winter does not, you know, do too much damage. I bought these whiskey barrels. I try to buy them at a reduced price out of season, and then that way I can go ahead and you know, buy extra and put those around on the exterior of the neighborhood. In my neighborhood, actually, I started doing gardening in 1982, and I put over 800 gardens, 50 vegetable gardens, and 8 parks in my neighborhood. So I started Old Allegheny, and I should stop right now and show you. This is the Old Allegheny sign. Old Allegheny is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it was a separate city from 1840 to 1907, and it was a city built on the other side of the river. And what happened was that when so many folks were in Pittsburgh, the other, I guess the people that owned the factories, they needed more space. So they came over here and they built a whole new city with all the federal architectural homes. And I wanted to make sure that we brought back the history of Old Allegheny City. So all my gardens, my garden society I started 1982 was called Old Allegheny Garden Society, to go ahead and to teach people the significance of the old city, to bring back the past and the respect of the past. Boy, oh boy, that's a nice picture. Yeah, I love this walk. I love walking over here. Yeah, I find it really interesting for me to always try to find new projects, because I keep on trying to ignore what I already built so that I can build something new. What I want to do now is I want to take you into my yard. So in 1 second I'm going to pull this phone around here, this recorder, and we're going to walk through my gardens. So here we go. We're going to walk right through the big gate and walk inside. Let me see here. There's that welcome sign again. So the gate's open and we can go inside and see the beautiful inside of my private yard. I keep my gates open. I want people to know that they're welcome to walk in all the time, that you don't have to go ahead and, you know, be shy. People from all around the world, 50,000 people a year find me from every country of the world. So this is a side yard I have over here. And I found this old bench, and it actually came from an old barn. There's totem poles up there. I'm going to do a totem pole video soon. And I'm going to just wrap this camera around. I don't know how dark it is, but I'm not trying to brag, but I was on the Today Show. NBC put me around the world, and Sherwin-Williams Paints wanted to be part of my big project. Well, I didn't want to do any more community projects because I had done 30 years of them. But when Sherwin-Williams wanted to do this project, I thought, okay. I invited contractors to donate doors, and then they went ahead and we did that and got a nice committee, and we sat down and talked. We didn't have a lot of money, but these old doors were readily available, and we primed them and invited people to come to the neighborhood party. And in one day we had about 50-60 people that came here and painted. A cool door actually was a girl from New Mexico. She was walking by, first time in Pittsburgh, and she was supposed to be touring the city. She ended up getting so excited she stayed here for 2 hours and painted this door. She was a teacher in an Indian reservation, but she was just so excited she didn't want to leave. So we couldn't kick her out. I was trying to let her go, but she was just too happy. These stones here that you see that wrap around this area, I got all these from the neighborhood. I would like to put a building where I'm standing and keep all these stones, incorporating them around the cinder block building, and I would like to have a beautiful waterfall made out of these stones. These stones were someone's home, and I wanted to make sure that we keep them in remembrance of all the 200 years of the history of the neighborhood. There's those giant cannas again. All right. Got my herbs over this way. It's a really nice garden over here. Again, it's a terrace garden. I just put all these stones on top of each other. I went ahead. There we go. Found a piece of art. This is a found piece of art. Isn't that cool what you can find? Huh? Nice stuff. Found a spring. Put art inside of the spring. Gave it a nice idea. Built depth in the garden. That's cool. Awesome. Everybody likes a kitty cat. Found a couple of those. Found an old vase. Turn it upside down to kind of make it look like some kind of an old piece. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I hope you can. There's my little fella, my guard. He was chipped, so I got $10 off of him. So I think he only had to pay about 20 bucks. So he's a pretty cool little fella. This is another piece that was actually found. Very interesting. So keep your eyes open and don't be shy. You'll find lots of things that you can get for free. Of course, I have my elephant ears. I really like those things. I try to put my cannas and my elephant ears in the garden so that they give height. And then putting the perennials a little bit in the middle, so that works out well. Over here There's another terrace garden. This is all flat space, and I found these great big stones. I roll my stones. I have a dolly where I found out that you can use actually a piece of pipe. And if you have two pieces of pipe, you put them on there and just keep on moving the pipe underneath the opposite side. And I figured that's how they moved them around. In the old days, I want to show you this stone to show the character of the stone. You don't have to always go and buy new things. And there's a bunch more of those springs. Aren't they awesome? I was just so happy to get those. I do want to come back to these balls. These balls I bought, they were pretty expensive when they first wanted them, but I got them all for like about $2 each. And there was a hole in them, so I was able to go ahead and put them on bamboo to build sculpture, kind of a nice flower arrangement. Over here, more cannas, rose bushes in the back. I had an old chimney pot, put a bird bath on top of that. Here we are. Found these things here, put a bunch of paint on them, turned them into cool stuff. This here is a crock from a construction site, and over here is actually a drain that you put on the side of your house, so I made a table out of it. These are the flamingos without legs. I had these flamingos for a while, and I didn't want to get rid of them, so I put them in the bottom of the container. It's just, well, I guess just swimming flamingos. Cool. Over here, some more art. Interesting things. Got these pieces donated to me, the Chinese pieces, Oriental pieces. Found a piece of iron. This also was donated. A lot of people don't want things. Don't be shy. Tell people whenever you see a cool garden, if they ever get rid of any perennials or anything they don't want, let them know you'd be interested. This is a cool piece of art. I don't know if you can really see it, but the cut stone of it is very, very interesting. Found a nice old fence being thrown out. This here is an antique sled. I think the sled's probably 200 years old. It's an old toboggan. And I don't know how they would have got up the hill unless they had horses or a mule, because I think it seats about 10 people. I met these people at one of the festivals, and this guy goes out. They live in Montana, and he finds all this wood that's been blown down in the trees. And he goes ahead and brings it home to his wife. He carves out a little bit, and she paints all these. And then he takes rebarb, and he builds legs out of them. So it's kind of recycling stuff in an artsy, creative way. I love this idea. I actually think I'm going to start doing this kind of art myself. A lot of people ask me about this wall. It's like a tie-dye wall. I had painted this, I should say stained this wall yellow, and then I took a bunch of other stain, and what I had done is I had wet the wall down, and I took a lot of stain and I put it all over with paintbrushes, and I stood back and I went ahead and I let it drip down on top of itself, and it really got a lot of great texture. So it's something different from just staining a normal idea. Kind of, I don't know, it's kind of my way of having fun. These are my chairs. I collect a lot of chairs in the garden. You have to have somewhere where people can sit. Another one of my finds there. That pineapple I turned into a crazy, crazy thing by just pouring paint on it. That's all it is. You don't have to have a lot of talent in art or gardening. You just have to want to do it. This is a really nice thing. These lions here, I found at the local department store. They were out of season, and there's a couple little cracks in them. Aren't they neat? They're like a fiberglass, and they normally were going for $100, and I actually got them for $5 each. I bought 5 lions for $25. Normally that would have been $500. Isn't that something? Wow. I invite people over now to my house, and with these chairs, I let people paint the chairs. I call it putting band-aids on the chairs. I pretty much started painting the chairs, but over a period of time when there's little chips in them and you don't want to paint the whole chair solid again, so I call it putting a band-aid on a chair. A lot of people came up with some really cool ideas. A lot of passion and a lot of time creating art chairs. Fun times, that's for sure. It's a good way to incorporate, ideas and letting others be part of the dream. That's a wonderful one, huh? Looks like somebody was trying to draw a road. Wow. There we go. Oh, this is a good idea. This squirrel I painted, and the ear was broken. So I kind of hid him back over here so you don't see the broken parts. Sometimes when something happens, don't worry about getting rid of it so fast. Just move it in a different way so that way you can go ahead and you can keep it. If I threw away everything that was cracked or broken or different, I would probably have to throw away almost half of the stuff I have. Don't want to do that. I can't afford it. Oh, I should tell you one more thing. This is a cool piece. This here was the bottom of a bed. I got this for $10. Went to a flea market sale, couldn't find anything in the house. The lady was frustrated that I wasn't buying anything. She told me to go to her garage, and I said, "Ma'am, I don't see anything in your garage." She goes, "Go away in the back, look under the sheet." I did that, and here we are. Now I feel like I have a Rococo piece of art. So I put that above my French doors, and I started painting around it, and it kind of turned out really cool. But I like telling people that that was the bottom of a bed so that people know, again, don't be afraid to try something. Even if it doesn't last forever, 5, 10, 15, 20 years you get out of it, that's just fine. Over here, these cannas, they sure grew this year. Whoa, don't know why they're so giant, but they are. I think plants know when you love them, and when you go ahead and you do so much, they really, really, really pick up on it. I go Halloween time and I find things that are out of season, and found these little rubber snakes, and here's an alligator, and this is a cement alligator. A lot of kids, when they come in, they like to sit next to the alligator and have the picture taken. There's another one of those mallards. I went ahead and I found that store that was going under as a recreational store, and got those for not much money. Now this rabbit has a broken foot, but I put it in there. You're never going to know it has a broken foot. So please, please, just give yourself an opportunity. Don't throw things away so fast. Aha, that gargoyle over there. Yeah, he's got a couple issues. I'm not sure why I put him in there, but I did. Over there, another mallard, and so forth. Okay, just keep the garden walk going. There's another one of those groovy alligators that kids like to see. Just kind of makes people feel like Randyland's a jungle. It's kind of an oasis, and it's all full of sand. Yeah, one day I want to put beautiful stone, but I don't have the money, so I might just try to actually go ahead and just see if I can get like 20 pieces of this kind of stone and 20 pieces of that kind of stone, and eventually just go ahead and, piece it together. I wouldn't mind that. It was kind of neat looking, teaching people, again, recycling at its best. And then staining the stone with the earth tones, the different irons. That piece of the old knight over there, I got him donated. Lady didn't want him and asked me if I would adopt him, and he looks really cool. They gave him a nice red coat. Over here, found some flower boxes. I hate to say that, but they were free too. So putting in some nice little sweet potato vines, and you don't always have to put things on a window ledge. You can go ahead in this old bench. I find a lot of these benches around the neighborhood or in the garbage. Now people are starting to bring me them. So I thought this would be a cool piece of art. You don't have to sit on every chair. Put flower boxes on the back of them. These here are actually on the back of some junk man's truck, and I really liked them. So putting a nice piece of round table on it kind of gave it a specific reason for a table. But you don't have to have the exact top. Over here, the same thing happened with the coffee table. Just put a nice big piece of granite, actually, that I found. There was a tile company, or I guess they do counters, and they had a whole bunch of this in the dumpster. So I'm a dumpster jumper. Yeah, now you know what I do. It's another interesting top. I'm always looking around for an opportunity. Yeah, this white, I guess it's made out of heavy-duty plastic. I was going to make a planter out of it, turn it upside down, and hey, turn that into a cool little table as well. So that's what I do. Just look around, just to build art. Over here is the last garden I'm going to show you right now. Actually, I should show you these cobblestones here. The guy was tearing up this area around his house and didn't want any of the cobblestones. Tried to give them away. Nobody came by. This was only a couple years ago, so I mean, it's amazing. These things go for like $2, $3 a piece, and he gave me about 1,500 of these. I was so happy. I told him, I said, well, if your friends didn't pick them up, I'd pick them up. He said, take them today. He offered them to lots and lots of people. So the goal is, when you see something and if people offer them, don't wait too long before you can go ahead and pick them up, because otherwise you will end up losing it. This is another chimney pot here. Put a table on top of it. Put an interesting little piece on there. And I collect a lot of bugs. I think the bugs are really, really cool. It makes the place look interesting and more nature-like. Oh, here's another find. Got to show you the groovy poodle. That was another piece of junk. Somebody was cleaning out a house and didn't want it, and I said I'd adopt that dog. There you go. So just, you know, have fun. These here, I don't know where the heck I got these from. I know these are free. This is old boat oars. So that was interesting. And I was driving down the street the other day, this summer, 2011, and out in the middle of the alleyway, I saw this piece, and I thought, well, wait a minute, pull over. What is this? Here's a lobster crate for catching lobsters. Now, Pittsburgh is a long way from the ocean, but somehow this lobster crate ended up in the garbage on the corner, and I grabbed it as fast as I could. I'm going to try to find some kind of a cement lobster or something, maybe, you know, something, a crab or whatever, just to make it look more authentic. By these pots here, found this old, you know, what do you call, mailbox here, and people always ask me if they could make a donation to my art, and I kind of felt weird at the beginning, but people really do want to support art, so I said okay. So I just turned it upside down and cut a hole in it, and so that's my little donation box. So if anybody does come by, actually you don't make much on those little boxes. A lot of people don't put anything in, but it's not what is I'm not expecting anything, you know. It's just, it gives them a chance that if they did want to make a donation, they could. But that's pretty much the story of the Gardens of Randyland. I just wanted to go ahead and have a little fun with you and just to show you my world in a very colorful and fun way. And I bought these signs also to reduce price, and it says home sweet home. I want people to know I'm very happy, and I want you to feel welcome. Whoop, can't really see that. It says welcome friends. On that note, I'm just going to say have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you had a nice tour of the Randyland Gardens. And if you're ever in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, you can Google Randyland Pittsburgh, and you can see the wonderful world of Randyland Gardens. I am going to be doing a totem talk on my camera, so I'll do that a little bit later. And have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye now.